And we are NCA.
Please, all virtual participants, can you mute your mic?
Okay, sir.
Virtual participants, mute your mic, please.
This is the story of our so the technical lesson is starting with the medical presentation and I'm standing in to this session. The general medical Dr. Williams. So prevention is ready and the paper titled Analysis of Urban Urban Intelligence is the most special issues in case study for post-intelligence. And the paper is presented by Imuwade Akejon and well, passing the guy. As announced the decision, one meeting is demanded regularly, big months. Either the two in technical session, there's an award of people president, and we are again thinking reason for who that award we go to. Please, let's do a presentation and we get the award. Thank you.
You can go ahead. First presenter, go ahead. Please submit yourself. Unmute yourself and go ahead. Unmute yourself. Imuwahin, unmute yourself and proceed. So, it's like they combine together. Okay. It's no, sir, please, can you unmute and proceed? Yeah. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Who is presenting? Is it Joshua or Nusa? We can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good.
On behalf of my colleague, John Akiremi, I, Agbedion, will be presenting the topic titled Analysis of Urban Growth Pattern in Developing Countries using Remote Census Spatial Metrics. The case study is from Osogbo in Nigeria. I'm moving on to the first slide. Changes in land use and land cover have significantly impacted the environment, agriculture, and socio-economic development. And primary drivers of these transformations include urbanization, industrial growth, deforestation, and agricultural expansion. The impact of urbanization on land use, land cover is evident in various ways. And this includes serious transformation of agricultural landscape. So second slide, I'm here already. I want to show you the study area. For people that are not familiar with it, this is Osogbo. It is the capital city of Osun State in southwestern part of Nigeria. It is an important administrative, commercial, and agricultural center in Osun State. The Osogbo's economy is primarily driven by agriculture, commerce, and services, with a great emphasis on industrialization. So Osogbo has, however, been experiencing rapid urban growth, and this has led to land use changes, the loss of agricultural land, and other series of environmental challenges. In addition to this, there has been limited research on the special patterns of this growth. Thus, this research study was carried out. So this research study was carried out, and we used remote sensing spatial metrics to analyze this urban expansion and its implication for sustainable development. So the following objectives, some objectives that we use in the study involve the identification of the right sensors. We evaluated impacts of land use, land changes on the extent of urbanization in Osogbo, and we carry out spatial analysis. And the next slides will just present to you some of the results that we got from our studies. We ended by proposing sustainable urban management based on the findings from our analysis. So on this slide 6, we have the trends of the land use cover change from 2014 to 2024. This in 2014, the expanse of, we can see from the legend, the expanse of agriculture, of the agricultural space. Move on to 2019, it has reduced drastically. And finally, in 2024, you can see that the urban growth has eventually swallowed the whole of the agricultural landscape. Bear in mind that this is an agricultural driven economy. So we move further to look at the trends of land use, land cover change for this period 2014 to 2024. So in 2014 to 2019, this first graphics depict to us the trend that was existing. Moving on to 2014 to 2014, we can see the same visualization of the transformation. And in 2014, the landscape has been, swallowed up by urban expansion and directly impacting the agricultural space. So based on this, we draw a conclusion that dynamics of land use and land cover has impacted agricultural lands in Osogbo from 2014 to 2024. Our result also depicted that the vegetation diminished significantly. This is very evident from the maps shown in the above slides. Urban areas and built-up infrastructure grew up by 34.68%, reflecting urbanization trends and infrastructure development. The analysis shows that water bodies grew by 0.53%, while scrub cover declined by 7.9%, emphasizing the transition of natural lands to built-up spaces. We have significantly lost everything to urbanization. bearing in mind that agricultural productivity is an important part of the economy of Oshogbo. So therefore, this study highlights the critical role of GIS remote sensing-based techniques in monitoring and predicting land use, land cover changes. The results we got offer actionable insight for developing sustainable urban and agricultural land development practices that support long-term environmental sustainability and resource planning. We therefore made the following recommendation: sustainable urban planning, reforestation and vegetation restoration, public awareness and education, policy and governance, and of course, future research should be continued. Thank you very much for your time, and God bless you.
Before we move on, we have of a treaty in Rwanda. So what we are going to take questions.
I can't hear you, please. I'm here, but I'm not hearing. I can't hear, but I'm not hearing. I can't hear, but I'm not hearing. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm with you. Yes, I'm with you.
On your wall.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That we don't see. Okay. Okay, explain. Yes, please.
I can only hear echo.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's like hello.
Yes, I'm here.
If you can, you identify sensor and data on the site. I don't.
Okay. Thanks for sending questions. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Noted, sir.
Classification, accuracy assessment report is very, very important.
Okay, sir.
What you have done
what you have done subjective, not objective. So it's important to know your user.
All right, noted. Noted. Objective one. Okay, noted. Okay, sir.
It's making for simple.
Please, go to the topic. The topic says analysis of urban trade strategy in developing countries. So I think when you're talking about urban growth,
Okay. In urban growth.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So long as you're talking about urban growth and pattern, everybody at least nobody that has a knowledge understand that are only talking about using tracing. So I don't think using
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for the criticism.
You show the area map, just show the value. You do not do any other data. You do not show assessment. You do not show any rules. You do not show.
I didn't get that, sir.
GIS.
You do not show what are so just show the value like those layers of the map. As one cannot what you're talking about. There are assessments without in your own area. On the map.
Okay. Study.
Integrating GIS knowledge. Entrepreneurs scale. Yes. Who is Joseph? Joseph on. Okay, no, it is only online. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm on.
Like I said about the area map.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. For settlement, let's say in every of those settlements in 2014, maybe they are defined more, but then in 2024, you see that development has taken over. And this is to include settlement. You know, and this is what you are about. Then, when you use of math, use tables to show the statistics. Show area of each and every of the land that and then
It's not.
that it was 2014, 2024. So that looking at it, one can understand yes, but don't say not now. Yes, the man is complicated, but it's not enough. This is what is behind it. Did you get it?
I didn't get the question because it's not. I think it's the network or the background noise. I can barely hear, sir.
But if I have to only if I but if I your this thing can go down one at once. So the last question of this was the identity of trend of global change for demonstrate of changes over time. So can you keep it?
No, I did not, sir.
So didn't get all questions and what issues going on your wall.
Hello, sir.
Okay, so
Please, let me to probably type it on the chat space.
I think we good job. We yeah. I think
For first one, look at the two of the development. That one we call the smaller column. The green always beats the patient and all that. You see that the trend keep going. If you look at the last one, you see a sharp compact that the settlement is still into the green areas. So if maybe there is a green or reserve area out there, people are most people have beautiful. Whatever happens around. So it's
Speaking in
speaks. Thank you.
Thank you. What we take here is something for me, double very fun. That support over the Lord with the first to change over time. If I know
about the converter list. So what do we do? Can you all hear now? Can you hear clearly?
So we need some political that expand. If you don't expand, it's easy. Too much. So I don't know how should we by the time we have been reading for good job about all the people or find out the man and it's all you need to consider is to show back. So I think in that we can perform.
Oh, the presenter is wrong here. I don't want to like the prayer and say, maybe I say, I don't know because you see, spirit and all these are sharp. This is the number. Most of the legs the all use situation and then is too much. And in addition to that, one already mentioned this. Settlement police area is not and you don't need this stuff plus in there. I know that what you there, if you check the football, it's always teaching this ability. The portion of maybe this is so low, you must really do that when you start what I'm wanting to be enough. The other thing that I have to but finally, it's ready. And the Chinese thing is just to be what the John said, this is pretty like. Legend is my rights, not to be right. And there's two spaces. And then that's the problem. Maybe the important order or final order of this meeting. Please.
Thank you. We expect so much about your work, and if I'm going to come directly, there the innovation place, we shape you into your thinking. On that basis, give it possible. I think we so we want to be ready before we come back to ourselves. So the second paper, the town project is setting up for virtual presentation.
GIS now. Okay. The person should that's I mean Joseph. GIS. Just short. Share the screen for you don't how why will you share his own screen? You are the one to share.
Should I share my screen?
No. Why will he share his screen? If he shares, we don't see it here. You know? No. Your projector is your projector. What is share screen? Share screen down to the projector because I don't compare the projector. It's okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good
morning. Good morning.
Yeah, we
Good
can
morning.
hear you. Can you proceed?
Thank you very much. I am TPL Uni Olayinka Olusegun. I am presenting this paper on behalf of other co-presenters titled Integrating GIS Knowledge and Entrepreneurship Skills Development in Nigeria Tertiary Institution. A framework for sustainable development. Introduction. Geographic Information System is a powerful tool for spatial data analysis. Entrepreneurship development fosters innovation and job creation. And integrating GIS into entrepreneurship programs can enhance skills, innovation, economic growth, and other activities in Nigeria in such a way that it can even alleviate poverty poverty in Nigeria. What is GIS? Definition of GIS. It's a system for capturing, storing, analyzing, and managing geographic data. It's an application that can assist in urban planning, in agriculture, retail trading, disaster management, transportation, and environmental monitoring. Importance of GIS in Nigeria. One of the importance of GIS in Nigeria is that the demand for GIS expertise is growing, but graduates lack entrepreneurial skills to leverage this knowledge. Tertiary institutions play a key role in equipping students with technical and business skills, as observed by Oyegiri in 2021. The background of this study: Nigeria faces challenge of unemployment, particularly among the graduates, and GIS entrepreneurship skills development is limited among Nigerian graduates. The GIS program in Nigeria tertiary institutions focus on theory with little practical or business applications. The aim of these studies is to evaluate integration of GIS knowledge and entrepreneurship skill in Nigerian tertiary institutions. And the objectives are: one, to assess GIS entrepreneurship educational institutions; two, to identify gaps in the curriculum in our tertiary institutions, and to examine perceptions of students and educators. And the fourth one is to propose strategies for GIS-based entrepreneurship training in Nigeria. The literature review covers the areas of GIS education in Nigeria, entrepreneurship, education in Nigeria, and global trends in GIS entrepreneurship education. The methodology of this study. Yes, sir.
So,
Hello. I'm with you, sir. Should I continue?
Please.
Should I continue? The research methodology. Objective 1, the data required, data sources, method of data collection, method of data
Just
analysis.
hold on. Just hold on. We have a light out here. Just hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, on the Bluetooth. So where is it? Yeah, I want to get back the light here. So just wait a little. Please, can you check the Zoom chat and respond to us? Let's have your feedback while we're taking care of the light issue here. And we also handle participants. What are your challenges? So we can take care of that.
Okay. I should continue.
No, don't continue. I want.
Okay.
Can you hear us clearly? What are the
Very clear.
challenges? Can you drop comments on the chat so that we know? That's it. Hello, I don't know. This slide carry this project. Okay, on the project.
Hello?
Can you hear now? Yeah, Joshua, can you respond to us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear him clearly?
Very well. Oh, the man with mic, I cannot hear him very well.
Okay, you can't hear the man with the mic, right?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, but the man with mic, I cannot.
Okay, you can hear me clearly. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Ani, are you hearing me now?
Joshua, can you hear him now?
Hello, can you hear us?
Oni, can you hear now? Okopere, can you hear us now? Alabi, can you hear us now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
We can hear you
Very
now.
clear. I can hear you.
Speak.
So please, just speak to your paper in the next 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. The research methodology. So for the objective 1, we obtain primary and secondary data, then the data source through the field survey, GIS students, GIS lecturers, GIS industry were interviewed and administered with questionnaire. Method of data collection is through the school curricula and questionnaire. Method of data analysis, descriptive statistics was adopted. Method of data presentation, the use of table was adopted. For the objective 2, identify gaps in the current curriculum that hinder entrepreneurship applications of GIS. And the secondary data was acquired, and then GIS students
He is the only one here.
and lecturers were the source of the data. And the method of data collection is through the school curriculum. Then descriptive statistics was adopted with the use of a table. Then objective 3, which is to examine the perception of students and educators on the importance of GIS entrepreneurship. The primary data was used, and the GIS students and GIS lecturers were the source of data. The questionnaire was adopted for the collection of data. The method of analysis was through descriptive with the use of table. And then lastly, to propose strategies framework integrating GIS-based entrepreneurship training in Nigerian tertiary institutions. The primary data was used. The GIS students and GIS lecturers were the source of information, and the questionnaire was the method of data collection. Descriptive statistics was also adopted, and the use of table was used to analyze data. The design research with the adopted mixed methods research design. We studied the population, which comprises GIS lecturers, students, and industrial professionals. Then sample size was 500. Then sampling strategy, 50 industry professionals, 80 tertiary institutions, which would make 400 students, 50 GIS lecturers, and total sample size is 500. The data analysis, we can say that the demographic characteristics, the frequency table for respondents are GIS students, 300. Then GIS lecturers, 98. Industry professionals, 11%. Gender distribution, male constitute 58%, female constitute 42%. make it 100%. The current state of GIS education in Nigerian institution. Number one, GIS rated courses constitute 5%, dedicated GIS departments or programs, 40%. Institutions with GIS integrated entrepreneurship components in curriculum is just 21%. So this is to show that GIS entrepreneurship is lacking in our tertiary institutions. The student participation in GIS entrepreneurship from institutions, we discovered that out of the 500 questionnaire administered, at least one entrepreneurship course was 50%, 56%, business plan competitions, 23%, attempted to start a business venture in GIS, they are just 8%. Successfully launched a business, that is 3%. Then the identified barriers to GIS entrepreneurship integration by the students' perception. We have the institutional barriers here, and then we have student barriers. Number one, under the institutional barriers, lack of integrated curriculum was 3%, limited industry partnership, 76%, inadequate funding for innovation projects, 71%, the absence of technological development is 68%. The student barriers, as perceived by the students, we have limited business knowledge among GIS. The respondent gave 79%, risk aversions constitute 79%, lack of entrepreneurial role model, we have 62%, and inadequate access to startup funding constitutes 34%. Now, when we compare or go to departmental or faculty level barriers, we have 3 stages of barriers. Limited industry experience among GIS faculty and or department, 71%. Lack of entrepreneurship training for technical faculty or department, 68%. Inadequate time for curriculum innovation, we have 59%. And limited collaboration between departments, we have 73%. The comparative analysis between tertiary institutions in Nigeria, we have universities, polytechnic college of education. Under universities, the research mentorship is 60%. The industry connection is 30%. And the emphasis on practical skills is 25%. Under polytechnics, we discovered that there's the research mentorship is just 25%. And the industry connection, 65%. Emphasis on practical skill training is 68%. The College of Education, which is the least, 15%,
Mr. Oni,
7% respectively. Yes, sir. The success factor.
Yes, please. Please just listen to me. You've exhausted your time, and that is part of what we are observing here. And we have limited time, so you don't have all the time in the whole world to present your paper. We gave you 5 minutes. Even before the light went off, you spent almost 4 minutes. And now I gave you 2 extra minutes. Yeah, for the past 4 minutes, you are talking again. Please, I would like to stop. Yes, we are not to work with your slide. We are to work with our time.
Okay,
so if you have prepared 50 slides, you don't take all the whole time in the world to present your slides. So it's the time allotted to you that you work with, not the number of slides you have.
Okay.
Please, for other online participants, let's take note of this, and those who are coming to present their physical presentation, please.
Thank you, sir.
So please, in 1 minute, just conclude your work.
The summary of results, the recommendation, curriculum enhancement should be introduced to our tertiary institutions in Nigeria. The industry academia partnership with GIS firms should be introduced. Incorporate project-based learning. Government and institutional support, case studies of GIS and entrepreneurship projects should be enhanced. And the result of findings, curriculum gaps, 70%, industry collaboration, 20%, student interest but lack guidance, 65%, challenges, limited funding, outdated curriculum, and inadequate mentorship, 65%. So the conclusion, we should integrate GIS knowledge with entrepreneurship skills, which will produce following development in Nigeria. It will reduce unemployment and it will elevate poverty in Nigeria. Then we should unlock new opportunities for innovation and job creations. We should promote technical training, promote investment, promote geospatial technology development. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. A round of applause for Oni for this presentation. Please, Oni, please just get ready to take your questions.
Okay.
You there? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, I said get ready to take your questions.
Okay, sir.
Good. So please, we've heard him and let's ask our questions. Is online still waiting and listening to us? So let's quickly ask our questions so that we can move on to the next paper. Questions? Okay, number one. Is that all for this paper? Okay, let's start with this.
Good morning, sirs. Dr. Mafidon. I'm just looking at the title. It's talking of tertiary institution. I suppose it should be institutions. I don't know.
I'm glad I presented yesterday. If not today, I for still a good DC. I won't present.
That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The observation is noted. Yes.
Mr. Oni Olusegun, who is presenting? Is it,
Sir?
Mr. Oni Olusegun, let's just start from the first page. I'm sure you have been sending papers to NCA severally. Now, look at the first name, Oni dot. What kind of naming convention is that? Having a dot at the first. Besides that,
Okay.
the second person's name, Sani, comma, another convention breakage. Then the rest again, 3 names. For goodness sake, this is a professional association, and this is the academia part of it. Naming convention have been well established in the format, in the guideline. First name, initial for the second name, then surname last. You maintain it consecutively. Now, the last name is Ademu Fatima. I'm sure Fatima is not the father. The convention is first name, the last name being the word surname. Another word for surname is last name. Let's be consistent. That is that. Then go back to the data. I look at the data sets, the data you say you were using. Stop here. Now, data required is not primary and secondary data. Primary and secondary data source. Data is data. There's no primary, there's no secondary. Let us notice it's a big error people keep making. You have what? Data. But the sources could be what? Primary. That is if you go to the field to collect it by yourself. Or secondary. That if you collect it from an organization, maybe from National Population Commission, from NASDAQ, you call it what? Secondary sources of what? Data collection. But data remains what? Data. There's no primary, there's no secondary. What is the difference is where the sources. Are we getting it? Note that. So rather, the data required would have been the one on data source. For example, GIS student, what kind of data is specific? You need to be specific. Is it the number of GIS students, number of GIS lecturers, GIS industry? Then that should have been in the data required. Then you state the number. Then the data source would have been the primary and secondary. In the primary, you need to tell us the GIS student. Are you going there to count yourself, or you are getting it through secondary source from existing record or whatnot? If you are distributing questionnaire, is primary source. Are we getting that? Same, just your data requirement, not primary. It is the second aspect, the second table, 0 you call it now, be the column that should move to the left. Is that clear? And I don't know, if you check most of the objectives, I don't know, maybe the map editor will have to look at this later on. Streamline them because you can see the same data, the same data, the same data. What are they doing? Are you getting it? Method of data collection. You say school curricular questionnaire, yes? School curricular questionnaire, and whatnot. So that's just what attracted my attention. It looks more of, I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that observation.
I'm Corporal Samuel from Nigerian Air Force. Since the person that is presenting this paper is talking about students and lecturers of GIS, and we are talking about GIS and cartography, I think it should display some charts, like pie charts, bar charts, to show us the numbers of students, the way, you just listed the numbers out. There's no chart to show it, to represent it or depict it for us, so that we can know the rate of students as at present, numbers of students, sorry, as at now, and when, for future reference, to be able to know academic institutions, how they are going to admit new students on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Femi, we are on just a mic so as to have our message communicated to the presenter. So come up here to use this. Oni, can you hear the one speaking now?
Okay, now.
Hello. Please,
Yes.
would like to know the method you adopted in choosing your sample size, because you made mention of sample size of 500 students, institution, and what? Is it random, systematic, or what is it? Would like to know. Thank you very much.
Discussion of land use and land cover, land degradation in agriculture is driven by both spectral and human activities such as forest clearing for farming, cultivation, road logging, overgrazing, irrigation, and mining activity. The energy recorded the highest degradation of 70%, followed by Lavos 7 and Mokwa 8%. The relatively low degradation in Mokwa is linked to the presence of agricultural institution and research center that promotes better land management. Forest degradation increased between 2003 to 2023 to encourage encouragement by nearby communities, leading to restoration and reduced cover. Finding a
Hello, please. Can you just hold on?
Is that Oni?
Can you just hold on?
Were you the one talking before?
No, I'm not the one.
Good. So I'm sure you heard what the contributor, their questions and observations.
I cannot hear as if it's not even relevant to the paper I presented.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. So did you hear what the contributor said?
The last speaker, I cannot hear him.
Good. Let me re-echo what he said. He said you mentioned the sample size.
Okay.
But you did not, right? Sample size, but you didn't tell us the method of selecting your sample size.
Okay.
Right? And
okay.
Yes, you must again tell us the total population where you draw this sample size.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure, yes. And also, somebody also said that you should go beyond just using your table. You should possibly use chart, pie chart, and whatever to also depict the number of students and institutions used in your work.
Okay.
Hope that is
noted.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Yeah, please, briefly.
Thank you very much. We sample our respondents from the GIS institutions in Nigeria that offer GIS, cartography and GIS as a course. And each of these institutions, we try to adopt systematic sampling. That is the method of sampling adopted to sample some of these respondents, 500. And you discover that the sampling size is 500. And the sister that complained about the use of table and chart, in the journal publication, we intend to remove that table and adopt the use of chart so as not to duplicate our method of presentation. That's why I decided to use table. So, and I I've really noted that observation. We are going to do something about it using of chat. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We appreciate your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Grateful, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, we communicate all other observations to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
I think on that we have come to the end of the second virtual presentation. So we'll get set.
I'm still online, though. We're still online.
Yeah,
so.
Mr. Joseph. Yeah, Joseph, you present shortly.
All right, sir.
Good. So meanwhile, let me quickly just tell you the rule here. So you have 5 minutes to speak to your work.
All right. Do I have to share my slide here? What will be done there?
No, we'll do it over here, but you just speak to your work as soon as we ask you to start. And
okay.
Yes.
If I need to skip a slide, should I communicate that?
Good. I think you can start now. And yes, the paper is on the screen. So let's listen to the presenter, Mr. Joseph Olumoyogun.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm presenting. My name is Joseph Muyiwa Olumoyogun from the Department of Geography of Ibadan. I'm presenting a paper titled Cartographic Analysis of Cultural Significance of Toponyms and Positional Accuracy of OpenStreetMap Data, a case study of Oyo State, Southwestern Nigeria. As we all know, that OpenStreetMap data is widely used, and despite its widely used, there have been a number of issues that have been raised by people about the accuracy of that data. Such issues include toponyms, which has to do with the, accurately naming a settlement correctly. Again, we have positional inaccuracy about getting the accuracy of location of settlement on the data. Again, the issue of incomplete data and inconsistency with authoritative sources, as well as duplicate settlement name. So these are issues that come with this opposite data. But again, for this purpose of this paper, I'm trying to focus on the cultural significance of toponyms, as well as positional accuracy of opposite data. We have that toponyms are so peculiar to cultural heritage of people in the particular environment, and such toponyms include one, oronyms, which has to do with name of mountains, hills. Hydronyms too has to do with name of rivers, lakes, or ocean, while urbanyms have to do with name of cities, towns, and villages. And geonyms have to do with name of geographic features such as mountains, valley, or desert. And so this work is trying to look at the cultural significance of toponyms and positional accuracy of this opposite data in Oyo State. So for this study, Oyo State is a study area which comprises 33 LGAs. And so the data were obtained from OpenStreet, and then they were clipped to the boundary of LGAs in Oyo State that cover the 33 LGAs. Again, the data used from these for this analysis include the opposite data downloaded from the opposite website. Again, the boundary of the state is also very, very useful to us, as well as the LGA. Again, we were also able to get some other information from other sources that have to do with journals that deal with Yoruba cultural heritage naming and how names in Yoruba setting has changed over time to the correct names we have now. And so all of these were combined together, which makes this study to have a mixed method approach in which we use journals that have to do with other things that have to do with correct naming of placement, as well as opposite data and boundary of the state. And so the observed toponym that were found on OpenStreet, together with the conventional change of name in Yoruba cultural setting, were used, and where we found inconsistency between the two, the data were extracted, and then we analyzed the result. And so we found a number of toponyms error on opposite data, as well as inaccuracy that we found with settlement on such opposite data. And so we have where situation, we have location that is not correct, we have names duplicated, where settlement we are duplicated on the same point, as well as wrong spellings of settlement. And these errors were detected, and they were collected based on our observation, together with our grant tweeting, to find some of this correct location, and These went into our analysis using the SPSS, and together we'll have a table from SPSS that will now finally feed into our GS environment to do a mapping and an analysis of this result. So the next slide now. So please, next slide, so that I can easily just quickly meet up. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the settlement we have on Open Street concerning Oyo State, and you can see how they were clustered within the urban area, and then the rural area have dispersed kind of a pattern. And these settlements are what we work together to analyze the result. Next slide, please. And so when we work on this Open Street data, based on the data we have of Open Street, we observe that there are a number of issues of inaccurate location of settlement. And so how we're able to get this by getting those settlements from Open Street and convert that to KML and then overlay it on Google Pro online to see the location of the point and where you have settlement in the Open Street data we have on, as well as the Google Pro. And we found that some locations were not falling on their correct location on the Google Earth Pro. And so we're able to reconcile that and then count them one by one to know where we have errors for this. Please, next slide, please. So based on this, now you see have this table 1 that shows the number of inaccurate settlements we find across the 33 LGA, the number of duplicated settlements we find on Open Street across the 33 LGA, and the number of wrong toponyms that we find across the LGAs in Oyo State. So this data is now broken down into 3 analyses. One is settlements that are inaccurate on Open Street data. Next slide, please, so I can talk to that. So we found that this analysis were done in such a way that we have some of LG that have a higher percentage. For example, Orelope has 100% inaccuracy, precision accuracy. It means most of the settlement on that LGA were mostly 100% inaccurate. Somehow, the allocation were not falling accurately on the LGA boundary, and that makes that particular data of Open Street to have issues with that. Again, where we have 100% accuracy, we have 100% accuracy in the urban area, which is about the LGA, comprised of 5 LGA, about the north, northeast, southwest, southeast. And so this area were well planned, were well mapped, and so it has 0 inaccuracy. Next slide, please. Okay, as regards toponyms, we observe that the geonyms is the one that were found mostly or that had error with Open Street, which has to do with name of cities, settlement, villages. And so the data were classified to 3, where we have high errors of this toponyms wrong error. We found that this LGA has high error, includes Saki East, 25%, Ibadakba North, having 21%, and these were all collated on that data, and then we have the map there that shows how this vary by the LGAs, how many LGAs has the highest error, and how many LG has the lowest error. And so the second category were the moderate LG that has error with toponyms, and that is the next line. And these LGs include Ibadakba Central, which accounted for about 50%, and Oyo East, that's about 30.3%, as well as some other LGs that were found that in the, so this data is in the main paperwork. And so we have a map that shows us where we have that distribution. The third category is where we have low error, which includes Atiba local government, Kajala local government, Lagi local government, each of them having about 5.3%, 3%, 11%, and 11.04% respectively. And this shows that this inaccuracy and wrong toponyms were found in varying capacity across the LGAs of Oyo State. The next analysis has to do.
Yeah, please is also Hello,
Mr. Joseph. Hello, Mr. Joseph.
from his side. It's not there. Hey.
Good morning, everyone. Please, I'm still waiting. Edidion Robert Etum.
Yes, not from
Hello, Mr. Joseph.
Yes, sorry, the network went off. Okay. In summary, so the last session is on duplicate settlement. We found that there are quite
Please,
a number of
can you
settlements
just
that were
conclude the work?
Okay. Now, in summary,
Yeah,
we found that Open Street has a number of issues and error, especially for toponyms, which is what we are interested in cartography. Names are named by cultural heritage where people live, and that is very key to give us the correct names of places. And so, this paper is trying to showcase that there's a need for a collaborative effort between the Open Street Authority as well as local people where those open streets is going to be used for that accurate name of places and settlement and accurate location of places. And this is the argument of this paper. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. So please, a round of applause for Mr. Joseph, who are just giving us a good presentation. Now, Mr. Joseph, if you are still here with us,
yes, I'm
your
there.
presentation, yeah, good. So you gave us a beautiful presentation, except at this later end that the network became fluctuating. And
Yes.
you are aware that we have Best Paper Presentation Award. I'm sure you may be selected for that award. So thank you for your presentation. So just hang on as we receive your questions and observation on your. Yes, please, questions and observation, please. Okay. Good, too. Is there any other person? So let's start with these two.
Go
ahead. Let him talk.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph. Are we there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning, sir.
Okay, please. Well done for a wonderful presentation. My name is Idris Adamuja, a member of this Noble Association. I'm only having problem with the combination of your title. You know, I see it very long. Cartographic analysis of cultural significance of toponyms and positional accuracy of OpenStreetMap data, a case study. My main issue is about this case study. Most of our institutions of academy, and now they are rejecting this kind of case study. Why not place in this kind of a case study? Why not data in so? Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
This is my observation, but all other places I'm convinced with it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Oni. I'm Dr. Victor Sunday, and this is an interesting paper. And I'm sure you also made this submission of this paper at the State of the Map Africa, and you'll be presenting it in Tanzania. Now, I just shared the OpenStreetMap page. I just shared OpenStreetMap on the screen. I don't know if you can see that from your Zoom.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So that is Ibarapa
North.
No. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now I am zooming in. So now if you check through Ibarapa North or Ibarapa East, you can see OpenStreetMap, and right there, you made mention of toponyms, inaccurate positioning of names. And if you can check here, you'll discover that most of the names here are not duplicated. They are not duplicated. Most of the names you are seeing there are not duplicated. Number two, when you look at their positioning, you will find out that if it's a land use land cover, like I can see forest class Didago and so on. If we zoom in, you will see that most of these names were placed either at the land use area that has been mapped, or within the particular local government boundary, so that people can actually see it correctly. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Now you can see this one. I think this is within the area you are talking about. You can see this, you can see this. You can see Keto. You can see
Meko.
Yeah, is that within the study area you are referring to? Is that one of these?
I'm talking about Oyo State. This is Ogun State and Benin Republic.
This is
Ogun State and Benin Republic.
Okay, you are talking about. You
Oyo
mentioned
State.
which local government? You mentioned Ibarapa,
Orilope.
right?
I mentioned Orilope.
Okay. Okay, so well, we just wanted to be practical about this, but there's no time, and it's part of the training workshop we are going to have today, immediately after here. I'm interested in this, and we are going to look at your paper more. When we talk about accuracy in OpenStreetMap, we'll look at positional accuracy of buildings. Of buildings, and then we look at positional accuracy of other features. For the naming, like you've just mentioned, if you check in OpenStreetMap, we have different satellite layers. If you go to the left, we have different satellite layers, and these different satellite layers are usually being made use by contributors. Now, if you have a particular project that is being delineated for a particular area, then you need to make that a specific satellite imagery the default image for that project. Whereas you fail to do that, it means that your contributors can use any of the satellite imagery. And where now contributors uses different satellite imageries to map a particular area, and then you are extracting from OpenStreetMap, you will discover that those different images, when you overlay them, you will have this inaccuracy you are referring to. And so you also need to be technical enough with OpenStreetMap science so that you can accurately report what is going on there. We will talk more about this paper at State of the Map Africa, where you will be presenting. State of the Map Africa in Tanzania. We have this paper there too. So thank you. It's a good one. We look more for this, but want to let you know that some of the things you just mentioned there are not correct. Thank you.
All right, sir. Noted, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Joseph, once again, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm still waiting.
Okay. Please, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Hope you still there. Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Joseph?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, please, I think I need to conclude or summarize what has been said on your work. Starting from the topic, I am not too comfortable with that. Reason being that the last work sent to us that has just been published, we have, in fact, issues with it. On the same topic, I didn't expect you to send a work now, and starting from the topic, there is an issue. Please take note of that. And all that has been said will be communicated back to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We appreciate your presence. So
Thank you, sir.
I think on that note, we can wrap up this virtual presentation.
Please, Edidion is still waiting.
So yes, we'll be with you shortly.
Edidion is still waiting. Please don't summarize.
Vivian, we can hear you. Yes, we'll be with you shortly. Please, can we project Vivian's paper?
Edidion. Edidion
Are you
Robert
hearing
Etum.
me?
Edidion Robert Etum. Edidion Robert Etum.
Yes, yes, you listen. Are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Good. Just we'll be with you shortly.
Please, what's the
title of your work? Can you give us the title of
A
your work?
comparative assessment of the spatial distribution of the incidence of poverty and malaria disease in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria.
Okay.
Edidion.
Can you share from there? Did you send to us?
Did you send your PowerPoint to us?
Yes, I sent it to the
Did you
platform.
send your PowerPoint to us?
I sent
your slide to us?
It's on the NCA platform, WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Can you share from your end?
Yeah, I'll share it now.
Oh, yeah, share.
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Have you seen it?
Okay, so click on the slideshow.
Okay.
Click on your slideshow. Okay,
good.
Beautiful.
So, Vivian, are you with us?
Edidion.
So you can.
Yeah, you did it good. So, yeah, you just listen. We have your paper now, and we want to give you 5 minutes to present your work. Is that okay?
My name.
So
yes.
You just have 5 minutes to present your work, and we hope to have your work presented right away. Thank you.
My name is Edidion Robert Etum. I'm presenting on behalf of every person that contributed. This is a topic, a comparative assessment of the spatial distribution of the incidence of poverty and malaria disease in Akwa Ibom, Nigeria, using a map-based approach. Malaria is commonly recognized as a disease of poverty, according to Search and Gov and United Nations World Health Organizations. This has resulted in the results of this estimated poverty level and malaria incidents could be presented in various thematic maps using integrated approach involving geographic information system. This method has been employed by several poverty mapping studies conducted in different countries. And unfortunately, this is not the case in Akwa Ibom. The aim and objective of this study, the aim of this study is to compare the incidence of poverty and malaria disease in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, using a map-based approach. This is important because understanding the geography of poverty and malaria distribution and spatial pattern is critical if we are to meaningfully contribute to their eradication and reduction. The objective one was to measure, map and determine the distributions of the incidence of poverty in the study 2, to determine the incidence of malaria disease, map and analyze it, the distribution pattern in Akwa Ibom. 3, to establish the relationship between the incidence of poverty and malaria disease in the study area. The location and the research methods. The research design here was a survey design, types and sources of data. The data of incidence of poverty from poverty source was questionnaire survey. Data and reported cases of malaria was a secondary data, mainly from the Ministry of Health. The population of the population of this study involved residents of 31 local government area making up Akwa Ibom, and to ensure a larger coverage, 7 local government areas were selected purposely from the 31 local government area. To determine the settlements to be sampled, all these settlements of each of these local governments as shown in the published map of Akwa Ibom study. Within each of the settlements, the household was the basic unit of research, and the 1991 census figure for each of these settlements was projected to 2023, and the 10% of this figure of these studies of each of these settlements were determined as a sample size for the study. Household heads sampled were chosen using systematic random sampling technique.
Stop sharing. Huh? No.
The incidence methods of data. Incidence of poverty was the first objective. 3 of the different measures were computed, and all of these were measured by Postagre and Trovac, and it included the headcount index, the poverty gap index, and the severity. The distribution pattern of the incidence of poverty was determined using the surface mapping techniques. For the assessment of the distributions of reported cases of malaria, choropleth mapping was adopted. And then to determine the relationship of the incidence of poverty of reported cases, maps showing each of these high incidence of poverty were compared, and with those of high incidence and the 3 measured categories of malaria disease in the states were shown. You can see this in the presentation and the analysis of the result. You can see each of those. It is obvious from this table 4.2 that the populations of the poor were high. For this, from each of the local governments, Mekbo, Urofong, and Nsidibum, Uran, Eket, Ukwarenin, that in 8 of the settlements, moderately in 11 settlements, and 3 of the settlements. In conclusion, you could see from all this information, you see that the incidence of map showing the incidence of poverty, the areas that were high and low, the appropriate map. For the incidence of malaria, we had to take 3 out of the 7 categories to plot it, because we had the correct all the amounts, the correct data used for each. So in short, Akwa Ibom State, you can see Akwa Ibom incidence of poverty, malaria, the one that was tested with RDT, the one tested with fever, and then the poverty, the one with uncomplicated malaria. All these were mapped. And then when we carry them and place side with side, the poverty and the malaria, you can see where the areas was high in this up north, the poverty, the malaria was less, was not there, and then it was positive. These people that experienced malaria positive in a tested positive was different from the areas that were high in poverty. You would also see another case here where the incidence of poverty was high. Those that tested high in the numbers of malaria cases that were presented with fever was not close to where poverty was high. And then the same. So in conclusion, this study produced maps that showed the distribution pattern of incidence of poverty, and with these maps, GIS technology is possible for us to determine where the poor are concentrated and where cases of malaria are prevalent. With what natural resources are also available, in which would help in turn the policymakers when they help to combat the fundamentals of the threats to well-being. Identifying where the poor are at a particular point in time is a gap in knowledge that must be consistently closed for us to make significant progress in the poverty alleviation and malaria eradication and reduction. Finally, this study has revealed, among other things, that malaria was not a disease of poverty in the study area. Thanks for your questions.
Thank you, Didion, for your presentation. I think what the work is all about is trying to draw a comparison between incident of poverty and malaria disease in Akwa Ibom states in Nigeria. And thank you, we've received your work. And for those of us who are seated here in the conference hall, I think our members who are from that area are in a better position to contribute to this work. And on that note, I want to call on the lady or our leader in women in cartography, Dr. Mrs. Chinasa Uta. Dr. Mrs. Chinasa, Financial Secretary, is Dr. Mrs. Chinasa. Okay. I think those in that houses, Akwa Ibom State or Cross River State, if you are in that houses, please, you do us well to look at this work and speak to it. And that is not to say that even when you are not from that houses, you cannot comment or contribute. But I just feel that they should have a better understanding of the terrain and see how we can compare the incidence of malaria and poverty. But I have some reservation on that, on this work, especially as it has to do with how do you measure poverty? Ididio, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Good. So please, questions, observation on this work? Questions? Observation? Femi, are you in the house? Yes, so what is your observation on this work?
Open that up to measure poverty now. I remember now to make mistake.
Good. Mary? Yes, please, let's have your contribution.
PowerPoint.
What is map base?
Title is too lengthy.
Noted.
Yeah, starting from the title, what do you mean by map-based approach? Let's go to the next slide. Map-based approach. Is there any approach in cartography that is not map-based? Okay.
Should I answer?
So the study area, is it the entire river, Akwa Ibom State? The study location, study area, okay.
Yes.
So did you make sample, were there locations that you sampled in Akwa Ibom, or is just the entire local government? Okay, 31 local governments you selected. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Can you explain this figure 2 map, fig point 2? So let me stop here.
More hands are coming up, and this is what we said earlier, or what I said earlier. As soon as a paper is presented, so it's good we raise our hand if there are observations and questions, so that we can save some of our time, or save time this session. We've gone far. There are a lot of errors as far as I'm concerned on this work, or work to be done. All the maps, the presentations are wrong. Figure 1, that's ought to be, I've always said, as the editor, I'm not supposed to speak to your work or address your work, because before and after, the work will always come back to me. So I expect the audience to speak. So please, maybe you've spoken. Yes, if I will still give you opportunity, let others speak. Yes, please.
Thank you so much. My first observation was the title, too lengthy. And my second observation is, I wanted to ask, what approach did you use for your mapping, your hotspot mapping? Because I could see the hotspots on the other map. What approach did you use? Was it the kernel density? Is it, what approach do you use for this? And how do you, and the scope too, did you go around for your questionnaires? That is what I want to, there's an issue in this work. Thank you.
Did you get that?
I'm getting all the points, the questions.
Oh, good. Good. So the next speaker will address your work.
My observation is, I won't talk much, but let me just go straight. First of all, you are talking about comparative assessment. And then you just mentioned, you try the whole local government in Akwa Ibom State. I don't understand. You should be specific that this particular local government and this local government, so that one can understand that this is what you are trying to compare, so that your results will be direct. Then 2, don't just say your study population is 31 local governments. No, if the population is 1 billion, start it there. So when you state the population, then your sample size, the method you use in getting your sample size, you should state it there. Don't just say you use a purposive sampling technique and then you do this. If the population is 1 billion, state it that this is the number, this is your study population. So from this, then you sample this. Then this is your sample size that you are working with. I think it will be better like that.
There is no
Let me not talk.
The population study involve all residents in that.
In addition to that, as others have said, the scope is too wide.
From that,
Why not limit it? Then I want to advise, if I don't know if you have heard of Kobo Collect or Kobo Toolbox. So make use of Kobo Toolbox with the other app or any other mobile collect app that you know. Make use of it to collect accurate data. It will help you. That's my advice. Use Kobo Collect.
Okay, 7 local governments. 7 local governments.
So thank you. But let me just quickly ask a question here, which I need a direct answer. Why purposive sampling? And 2, why 7 local government out of 31? Is 7 representative of 31? How did you arrive at that? Purposive sampling, 1, why? And why 7 out of 31? Please, can you please respond to that? Hello, Didion.
Yeah, which of them am I going to answer now? Let me start from this last person. Why
just answer this one? Yes. Why
purposely? Normally, if you look through my main work, 10% of 31 local government is 3. But I decided to ensure a larger coverage. So I decided to increase the number to 7 because 3 local governments would have made my work look small. So I decided to extend it to 7 so that I could get from the north, south, east, and west and then take at the central. So that's where you got, that's where I had that 7.
Hello, Edidium. Hello? Hello? Okay, can we talk to ourselves here if she cannot hear us? I think for a work like this,
one local government.
yes, please. I just asked that question to see if you can justify reasons for using purposive and also using 7. I think your explanation is not okay. Can you hear this? Your explanation is not
Why?
okay. In research, yes, that is what I want to quickly explain to you. In research, you must have reason for every action taken, especially in your methodology. So if you have 31, you must have a good representative. You must have a good representative, 1. And 2, you can only use purposive sampling if your quest or the answer you are looking for is directly in a given location. But I think in this study, that is not the case. So purposive sampling, for me, is inappropriate in this work. So that is, and also, I don't know if you have seen, yeah, you don't listen. Have you seen any of our work or NCA journal? Hello?
Yeah.
Good. If you've seen our journal, in fact,
yes.
your work look more like a research work, not a journal paper, where you have hypothesis, aim and objective. Yes, in a journal or in a journal paper, you could have your aim and objective subsumed in your introduction. And of course, again, in the old format, NCA format, journal format, there's no column for some of the outline you have in your work. So please do well to have access to our journal, and you have a better skeleton of how we present our work.
Noted.
Good. So I think, having heard that, we will communicate all our observations and questions to you.
Noted.
Good.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. Thank you once again for your presentation.
Thank you.
And on that, I got a feeler that we are running out of diesel and we may be out of light shortly. On that note,
Okay. Are you? Yeah, we see how.
Yes. How many?
Okay, we've done. Okay. Follow. This person, the special intelligence for governance poverty. No, look, that's not it. Very surface. Oh, wait. No, that's not it. Not yeah, well, no, not me. It's on my own. Which one is it? No, it's not yours. I'm not here to present. I don't need the virtual to say. Okay. Sorry. I was helping you check the list of maybe you're not, but let me say hi. Let me check it. Justice. Yes.
Special distribution of the primary students is, I think, you can end here. No, not that one.
Comment ça, tu quoi? Comment t'as dit ça?
So tell me, Doctor.
Okay, just give me one I think. Okay, this is this is one of your own. This one. Yes. Yes. Okay, then yes, it is. Yes, it's one. Okay, there's one something that also. What is this one? This person okay, this is your white line.
Yeah, check down, go down. Yes, it should be that one, special distribution of primary. Yes,
This one.
yes.
Yeah, the one doing now. Him. Yes, sir. So we have which one first? Which one first? Okay, land is okay, user change on the text.
So can we quickly move on to the third paper to be presented by Sam Ibrahim, who just presented a while ago. And the title is Evaluation of the Land-Use Land Cover Change Effects on Land Surface Temperature, a case study of Model Local Government, Edo State. So Ibrahim, you are from Model Local Government. I want to see how you will speak to this paper. So your time starts right now. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I'm Ahmed Ibrahim from Federal School of Surveying, Oyo. Yeah, the evaluation of land use land cover change affects land surface temperature of Ohuanwende local government area of Edo State. Next. Introduction. Land use land cover change has been a bend in the environmental that has settled down. So when we look at the history has made it known that land use land cover change is one of the global factors that determine the environmental. So in every environment, we must have that in our mind. Next, sir. Detecting land use land cover change in the rural urban fringe area. Timely and accurately using satellite imagery is essential for land use planning and management in China. So other countries also do that. So next, sir. This search has examined the impact of land use land cover change on land surface temperature, that's LST, in Ohuende, Benin City, has provided insight into sustainable urban planning and environmental management strategy and mitigates the adverse effect of urbanization. Next. The objectives: investigate the spatial temporal changes in land use land cover in Ohuende local government area from 2001 to 2014 and 2024, assessing the variation in the land surface temperature of that same local government in Edo, and analyze how use variation correlates with specific land use land cover type, then identifying spatial and temporal trends in land use land cover and land surface temperature over the study period. So next, sir. These are the study area. Next. Material. The methodological is the chronological process to accomplish the project's aims and objectives. This includes data requirement, data development, and management using the right tools, that is GIS, also even with remote sensing. Next. So in this study, satellite imageries were used, Landsat 5 were used, and satellite images acquisition for land use land cover also were used in choosing the image. It was ensured that all this has been followed using those tools. Next. So despite the results, the spatial analysis focus on presenting the result of studying those data using the objectives. Next. These are the maps. Next. These are the maps also with the results in table. Next. These are the correlation between the land surface temperatures and their land use land cover. Next. And these are the results on the land surface temperature from 2001, 2014, and 2024. Next. These are the bar charts showing the rate in change in land surface temperature. Next. The conclusion examined the effect of land use change on land surface temperature, which were determined for the Ohuende local government from 2001 to 2024 using Landsat imagery. So when assessing was made on the obtained results, it was seen the organization has an increased impact on land surface temperature in this study. Next. Therefore, the study has a critical value in emphasizing the importance of the cooling effect of the forest. That is, when you look at the forest, you realize it is increasing from 2001, 2014 up to 2024. Next. Then it was recommended to promote sustainable development in Ohuende local government area. It is essential to enhance green infrastructure by increasing trees, covers, park, and urban vegetation, and expanding green space can also mitigate a rising land surface temperature. Next. Then climate resilience, urban planning should be prioritized by implementing policies. Next. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim. I think you did better this time. So please, we'll go back to the first paper presented by Mr. Ibrahim. That is paper 3. And titled, please, let's project that work, Geospatial Technique in Site Selection for Renewable Energy, a case study of Oyo State Metropolis, Oyo State. Please, let's project that while we put forth our questions and observations on that before we move on to the one presented by Fatima. So our observations, questions on this paper. Please raise our hand as usual, and we pass the mic across and you make your comments. It will help us. Your name and your observation or question.
Hello, Human Rights. Malang Ahmed. I mean, a well done job, but I do have a reservation about your objective 2. Acquisition of geospatial data sets, including solar radiation, land use, and land cover, topography, and infrastructure. I think that shouldn't be an objective. It should go under what? Methodology. Is that okay? My observation. And I think I like your recommendations because your recommendations are emanating from your findings, which is in line with normal research work. Thank you very much.
Let me quickly raise it. Maybe perhaps there is any other observation we'll do. On the topic, let's go back to the topic, please. Geospatial technique for solar energy selection in Oyo Metropolis. But what we have in our book of abstract is different from what we have here, right? So I think we'll adopt what we have here, right? What we have before us is not what we have here. So please, I'm sure you have corrected yourself. So on that, let's leave that. So there are other observations, but I'll pass them across to save our time. If it's from me, we can always meet one-on-one. Or after all, I will be the one to communicate all observations back to you. But it will be better you hear from other persons other than me. Okay, let's quickly move on to but while you have your seat, let's take the second paper now, presented by Fatima. We'll come back to you again on the third paper. So for Fatima, let's project that work, which is on page 24 in our book of abstracts. Once again, the title is Spatial Distribution of Public Primary Schools in Okele Town. Justice, are you with us? Yes, sir. Yes, Spatial Distribution of. Good. Please, just leave the title first. Yes. Please, question. Yes. 1. Good. Any other person? Okay, 2. I think 3. Good. Thank you. Number 1. Okay. Dr. Mrs. will wrap it up. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to appreciate the presenter for that beautiful presentation on the spatial distribution of public primary schools in Okene Town. My first question goes to us, or let me say my observation. During the course of your presentation, you made mention of equipment use, which is a GPS, but you failed to tell us the accuracy of that equipment you use is very, very important because you are talking about spatial distribution. And two, in this type of studies, thank God that our population people are here. It is very, very pertinent for you to talk about the population data use. What is the UNESCO standard for locating or establishing a primary school or a school in a certain location? So we need to spell out all this. So those are the things, observations I want to raise. I think if you can put that one in your paper, that will make it more richer than this one. The second observation is that the population data. Yes. And what is the UNESCO standard for, there's a standard. Yes. Thank you very much.
Yes, my observation is you should first, since we're talking about spatial distribution of primary schools, you should tell us that these are the schools you identify, and this is the number. I don't know if you understand. You should show that this is the number of the school that you've discovered within your study area. And so at least you show that one can now understand that this is what you are saying. Then I also saw you talked about equitable and even distribution. So I suggest that you should check it at world level, that for each of the wards within your study area, how many schools are found within there. Yes, within a particular council ward, how many schools are found there, and this one, how many schools are here, this one, how many schools are here. So by then, your recommendation that talks about it can now come in place. But you stating this recommendation without having a result like that doesn't really tally. So I think you should look into that. And then also look at your citation. It's very, very important. There's a place you use somebody else and it was a different thing you use. And at the same page, I also saw a different citation that looked different. So you should really look into your citations. Thank you.
Again, I'm Dr. Mapidon. I'm looking at the title. Can we go back to the title? Appears to me to be too long, whether we should have said spatial distribution of public primary schools in Okene local government area, Kogi State, Nigeria. Other than spatial distribution of public primary schools in Okene town, Okene local government area, Kogi State, Nigeria. It appears to me to be too long. We can shorten it. Spatial distribution of public primary schools in Okene local government area, Kogi State, Nigeria.
Good afternoon. My name is Safiano Garba Yahweh. I just want to make one observation. Okay, I just want to make one observation with respect to that top title. I think the title needs to be required to reflect geolocation. So geospatial, so that it's with geospatial distribution and documentation of public primary school in Okene town, in the local government, Kogi State, Nigeria. I think it should be the best. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. I just wanted to ask Madam Fatima, the 500 meters you used to buffer, I don't know the criteria for choosing. I've not read the work. I don't know if her observation from the buffer, did she come up with any recommendation from the buffer? That's all. Standards that you will expect schools to understand. So there must be a standard. The first speaker asked you whether you used any existing standard or there is the educational standards, UNESCO, whatever. Which one did you use? Because you just don't decide because you see the nature, because of the nature of the data, you decide to use 500 meters. No. So you are measuring the distribution based on an existing standard. That is what it's supposed to be. You just don't randomly take 500 meters. No.
Thank you. I'm sure you understood what she's trying to say. In other words, just have the standard, either UNESCO or any other standard, and compare the distance measured with the standard, whether fall within or outside the standard. That will not be your work. You want to know from the spatial distribution of schools which fall within the recommended standard and those that are outside the recommended standard. Is that clear? Thank you. I think on that we can say thank you once again for your presentation. So let's come back to Mr. Ibrahim and the paper presented titled Evaluation of Land-Use Land-Cover Change Effect on Land-Temperature, Surface Temperature, a case study of home model local government area. Can we project that work? Yes. Evaluation of land-cover land-use change. So let's raise our questions. This paper presented a while ago. So what are our observations, questions on this paper? Right from the topic. Questions, observation? And okay, I can see that what we have in our book of abstracts is different from what Ege presented to us. Am I correct? It's okay, but let's do business with the one presented to us. And let's hope that he has corrected himself to an extent. So we do business with what is presented to us. So questions? Please, feel free to raise your questions and observations.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So I just have a very brief observation on the title, sir. You have land use cover. I think you've omitted something there. It should be land use land cover. That is the proper nomenclature. And also, I feel like your topic sort of diminishes the quality of your work because we all know that LULC is sort of everywhere now. And since you've brought in a very interesting dynamic, which is land surface temperature, you should make that the highlight of your topic. That will make people more interested. Well done.
Thank you. Any further observation, question? Further observation and question? I think on that note, I want to say thank you once again, Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed, for your presentation. and will communicate to you the questions and repertoire report. Thank you. I think Odalo will quickly take one more paper before we move on to the next business of the day. And the paper is titled Disaster Management and Emergency Responses Mapping in Nigeria. Yes, you are carrying out a study across the whole country. I'd like that. I wonder how you can do a paper on that. So that paper is to be presented by Callisto of the Department of Geoinformatics, Institute of Space Science and Engineering, African University of Science and Technology. So where is Callistus? Please, can we project that work? Disaster Management and Emergency Responses Mapping in Nigeria. Emergency response. Yes. Thank you. Mr. Callisto, you have 5 minutes to do your presentation. And don't forget, we also have, I have said that and I must repeat it, Best Paper Presentation Award. And I wish you the best as you work hard to earn that award.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I'm Upa Callistus, a PhD student in the Department of Informatics and GIS, Institute of Space Science and Engineering, African University of Science and Technology, Abuja. I co-authored this paper with my lecturer, Dr. Innocent Bello. Next. Disaster are natural and human-induced phenomena that disrupt the environment, society, and economy. In Nigeria, geomorphic processes such as flooding, gully erosion, landslides pose significant risk to livestock, and livelihoods and infrastructure. The study examines the role of geomorphology and geographic information systems in disaster management and response mapping in Nigeria. This study concludes that integrating geomorphic analysis with GIS-based hazard mapping is crucial for sustainable disaster risk reduction in the country. Thanks. You jumped.
Yeah.
Give me a slide back, please. Pardon? Okay. Integrating geographic information system and GIS with data disaster response. This is so faint. Okay. So in the integrating geomorphology and GIS with disaster response, the combined use of geographic geomorphology and GIS enables proactive disaster management. Yes, an aspect of flood modeling, erosion mapping, landslide sources. Move. Okay, this is a sample of a bed. Yeah, disaster conditions, and then the yellow aspect, the red aspect in the middle, show the highest risk. Then the yellow aspect run so moderate, and then other area. The essence of the paper, part of that. Geology is the base of landslide. Nature hazard like landslide is and rest. And the GI that balance that has the service the balance the right that factors qualitative that. So the paper is same as the not the paper. Same as in order to provide qualitative data to individuals, government, and other institutions. To the understanding of this, these ideologies, effective search in the without and the first aspect. On your fair, on your faith, to be okay, let me. Whoa. Nice. Yeah. The fortunate is party. But you want to be patient because they want to work. Somebody decided to create this responsibility on stage and everybody is. And this was life.
And I told you before you started the presentation that look, you had a chance to win the best presentation award. Did I mention that? So certainly you were not well equipped. You say you won it. Well, we'll do that assessment much later. So I just wanted us to start from there. That served as general remark for every one of us. So once again, a round of applause for Mr. Kalisto for presentation. It's not easy to present a paper. It's not easy, eh? If it is easy, we have over 20 abstracts in our book of abstracts. And well, we've done well. Many have presented, but still, we have papers that are yet to be presented. So I don't know when they will present it. So let's come back to our observation. Right? So that is on the general questions, observation on this title. As the light is off, the title once again is Disaster Management and Energy Response Mapping in Nigeria. Emergency response tools. So number one, number two, that's all we have. Number one, number two. So number one, please. Talk to us.
My question is, you authored that paper with Innocent. Dr. Innocent. I was wondering how we can do that for the whole of Nigeria. If
he will narrow it down to a particular state, because for him to be able to cover Nigeria just on that paper, I wonder how that can be done. Thank you, sir. That's my observation.
Afternoon, sir. We talked about emergency response to disasters, right? You know, there are various kinds of disasters, different kinds of what? disasters. I will suggest that you have to be specific. Are you talking about the fire disaster, water disaster, or what disaster? Because there are many, because we cannot not just use one same approach, or to address all the disaster, to respond to all the disasters, right? So I have not seen your work, so I wouldn't know the scope of what you mean by what you mean.
Theoretical paper, not empirical. Sir, in the course of the introduction, I was listing the disasters. That's why I now brought in geomorphology and GIS. No, geomorphology, the study of landforms. So most of these disasters happens online. I was mentioning landslide, gully erosion, and all of them about the earth. You understand? So I will now saying that GIS as a tool, because most researchers now, they don't give detailed data, and it's the data that we use to at least make an attempt to cope some of these problems. So that's why I now say that we now say that understanding of geomorphology. I'll just give a brief of what I mean by geomorphology. So bringing them together, we now pave way for more data, effective data for development. And I was specific about the disasters, particularly the ones of the land, gully erosion, landslides, earthquake, tsunami, and so on and so forth. Nigeria. No. The paper, I couldn't finish it. I could have given reference to landslide in Jos, erosion in Benue State, and then Anambra, lots of that. But the light went off, I couldn't, and so on and so forth. So I was particular about the earth.
Good day, everyone. My name is Zofi. You mentioned tsunami, so I'm confused. Do we have tsunami in Nigeria? That's one. Then, in terms of the disaster management, hello. Okay, you said it's a case study. That means you don't need mapping. Theoretical, you say it's a theoretical study, right? So I feel you don't need mapping in it on the title. This is a case study.
Sorry, I think what she's trying to say, sir, is that your title reads Disaster Management and Emergency Response Mapping in Nigeria. My take on this is that it's either you are taking the whole of Nigeria and showing us techniques where GIS and geospatial intelligence can be used to actually do these things, or if the scope is too large, you can take a case study of a smaller geographical space and show us how we can manage disaster and see the analysis of emergency response in Nigeria.
Thank you. So what I actually noticed with your work, you're having issues with scoping your work. I don't know, even from your content too, you're having issues scoping your work. So I'll advise you for a journal like this. If it's for your research, yes, you can do Nigeria, but in as much as it's for a conference like this, I advise you scope your work to a smaller place, and when you're talking about disaster, just tell us what particular disaster you want to look at and just focus on it. It's very important just to make life easy for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The comments are noted.
Thank you so much. Callistus, you said noted, but I wanted you to respond to one. They asked that you mentioned tsunami. Yeah, good. It's possible you need to educate us. Possibly one happened in your village and we are not aware. So please respond to that quick.
Not exactly. It doesn't happen. I particularly, I was just trying to list and I overlisted. Yes, because the ones in the paper, that I captured landslide in Jos, I captured the erosion gully in Benue State, and then out of Anambra. Yes, not. Pardon? What? No. Geomorphologists deals with landforms. Yeah, landform formations. Fire break is out of my scope.
Yeah, but this earlier said that it should restrict its work, just like the last speaker said that. Look, don't kill yourself by yourself. Just try as much as you can. Little thing. Nobody is saying you must do everything. You could just say physical non-disaster. In other words, we are looking at the geomorphological disaster. So that will save you a lot of stress. And that is why that is the scope again, which he mentioned. That if you in your scope, you're able to identify the core of your work. And any question coming from any other angle, please look at my scope. In my scope, it is your scope that will delineate your work. And with that, you're good to go. So thank you so much, Mr. Callistus. Once again, round of applause. So we want to appreciate everyone presented and possibly those who are yet to present. If we still have time left during the course of our program, we'll still see how many people we can entertain in due course. So on that note, I want to appreciate every one of us that have stayed thus far in this session. It's been a wonderful session, and I've personally gained a lot in this session. I want to also believe that we have all gained one thing or the other. So once again, thank you so much. Like I've earlier mentioned, we have BPPA, Best Paper Presentation Award. And during the course of presentation, since yesterday to this moment, we've been able to figure out some few presentations that should be, we've marked some few presentations that should be considered.
That's right.
We please, I think, haven't come this far. It would be good we have about 5 minutes break to stretch our legs and do some little refreshment as the case may be before we reconvene back for the map competition session, and the workshop. Thereafter, we look forward for the AGM and the final assignment for the day, which is the dinner party. So let's have 5 minutes break. Before then, is there any question or observations from this session we've had? Or you want to even make your recommendation? We've all listened to all the presentation right from yesterday. Who do you think should be given the best paper presentation award? I want to hear from the others. I also have some senior colleagues who has been working behind both the virtual and physical presentation. But I want to see if what we suggest here will rhyme with what they will give to us also. So who do you think, or it could be more than one person, of course. At the end of it, we zero it and narrow it down to one person. Who do you think should have that award? If you presented, you think it's yourself, you can also do same. And yes, we are liberal. So who do you think should have the best paper presentation award? But at the end of it, we compare it with the work done by our senior colleagues. Comments? Of the committee, right? Okay. From this end, I'm hearing that we should rely on the judgment of the committee. So we should not preempt the committee, right? Good. I think I want to once again say thank you so much. We appreciate you for your time and patience. So let's just have 5 minutes break while we put up the next session, which is the map competition and workshop that is to commence thereafter. Thank you.
So that idea is like six. No, we are sending it to Sigan. This screen still being shown. Oh, no be sure. Not sure that bit.
Doctor, my phone chops now too.
Okay, yeah. Unique mappers network, not unique mappers. And unique mappers network is not affiliate unique mappers, not affiliate chapter. For the website, the old website or the new website. The old website, old one or new one. You can't find that. You make it passwords. We are not a local community of its members. Zero. Well, go ahead. Yes. Huh? Oh, screen. Yes. Only for us. You not told him that I have spoken with you. So why are you calling me again? I have told him that I'm going to send money to you. Which one are you calling me again? Now tell him he should not worry. Now, what is he worrying about money? He has not even started going. Can't you talk to him? Why can't does he not have money to run in? Why is he interested in money now? See if he's not going to- Eh? You should take charge. You are a logistic person. If somebody have not come to pick you and want you to send money, eh? Uh-uh. Even if you could pay individually and go there, do you think you pay up to that time? If you could decide now, if you are four or whatever, and take transport from Liverpool to Air Force Junction, from Air Force Junction to that place, will you pay up to that? I've told him I'm in a conference, I will send money. Is it not the biggest thing? And have you finished your own arrangement? Have you told me the balance I said? How many have you? Have you, instead of you to ask me about the number of the guy that I mentioned, that's what I'm expecting from you. Not telling me about the driver, you should say you should call me. Call me for what? You are the person in charge. And you are the person to coordinate the logistics. You should be sending me message asking me what about the person. I should give you the contact of Precious so that you can call and then know whether you have other people that will join. I've spoken to him and I told him that I'll send money to you. So if he needs to buy fuel, let him go and buy his fuel. Are you not going? So what else again? Forget it.
Comprehensive practical training. Zero opportunities. Okay. Comprehensive practical. They are saying practical. Comprehensive practical training. Zero opportunity. And we need to put the dates, flash the dates. So just flash the main dates. The main date is 13th October. Where is the best place? Or do you flash it here? Okay, so flash it there. 13th October. Or you can even remove the comprehensive, just say practical training. We have not taken picture at that time. Okay. Okay.
So if I go to flash to that, I'm going to remove the hardware.
Or just flash, starting, just take this one, like, starting from something. So this one would be still blue or something like this. Yes. And then big colors, three different colors. So, yes. That is really action. Let's make it something. I'm trying to take it from this one. Some green. It's four. I don't hear you. Or yeah, he was from his side. Now from outside, I would say that just relax. Perform relax.
All this was so changes. So they are related. If I'm making this comment, there's a text or the variable. Hold on, so that you come out. So can we project? Hmm? What? Yeah, we can project. So let's project it. So, oh, they're taking it away. Taking it away. It's black and red. It's black and red. Yes. And I think also I heard that. That's what you can say. When you find they say, going to say, what about the like with the motor into one? Yeah, when I open up to the name. I open to the name.
And then why that the president on the top.
So slide. The slide for the monitoring. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, was the work. I haven't played them. What was the doctor? Yes, so welcome. I'm in a DP's office. Okay, welcome. Yeah, we didn't put the this one there. We didn't put the flyer. We just put it. Just
No, it's not this one. Not like you put the soup down. Yeah, easy. Come down, you should stay in after. Because ours 50 days later. Thank you.
So I take it. Take it. So that you can get it. Ask them they are coming. This is the character.
This character.
Man,
you can project it because your limits. Like, okay, I wish yourself. So just go ahead. Our live streaming is still. It's our live streaming. It's our live streaming. No, it's not a better. A presidency. Just look at it. You just treat it as a native. So can we now proceed? So let me close this. Set now, huh? Okay, on the projector. Technical problem. Yes. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe we can start. So can we see? Is it one? It's going to projecting. Is it still the same? No. This is still the same. John, let's see. It has been live streaming.